Anyway, 4-minute books. I'm with you with Robert McKinley, Hero in the Crown and the Blue Sword. Blue Sword I read over and over and over, and I read able to do the Narnia books as well. But also Lloyd Alexander, huge fan. I love Lloyd Alexander. Carson Page, book 3, about Cauldron books, but also Westmark, The Beggar Queen, Kestrel. Yeah, I knew you would know those, Jessica. All right.
You guys either read lots of books or you just clap at everything.
You guys, let's start percolating your questions. All right. So, what's the questions that you guys don't always get all the time? If you could.
Are you married?
Yes, he is.
He doesn't get the question. He wears his ring.
How big and gold and shiny that ring was? We often talk as a female writers how much we really wish we had a wife like these guys. It's so sweet, have a wife. I want James to ask his wife, or Brandon Wolf's wife. They're equally awesome. Alright. When you sit down to write a new book.
Don't put that on YouTube or anything.
Somebody's out there tweeting right now. Shannon was Brandon's wife. When you sit down to write a book, a new book, we've all written several books, what scares you the most? Because usually when you sit down to start a book, it's fear, right? Or is anybody excited at the blank page?
I'm excited that I'm alone in my office with nobody watching what I'm writing.
Yeah.
I'm nervous. When I write a book, I'm always stressed that what I think is cool might not be what other people think is cool. And so that's what's always haunting me. But at least when I'm alone in my office, I can monkey with it until I think, okay, this is for sure cool. And then cross my fingers that my judgment's not terrible and then show it to people.
What do you think, Alan, when you sit down to start a new book?
That's my favorite. Really? Actually, I like starting the book with them because I haven't messed it up yet. And I write horrible first drafts. Because I just like to write all the fun parts first and then go back and make it together.
What are the fun parts?
Just whatever I want to write, and I don't.
Do they involve kissing?
Good. Joking people.
Action scene.
And driving large cars. And also, remote controlled machine gun is something, that is a term I've heard so many times at dinner. As voice machine gun. Remote controlled machine gun! This is good, they're going to use the remote control.
They were literally giggling about the part of the movie where someone got beheaded. That's a cartoon now?
It's not real in a movie. I don't want to see anyone get hurt at all in real life, but in a movie, totally.
The bloodier the better, right? When I sit down to write a book, just like these other guys, authors are very mean to themselves. We just assume that we're terrible, horrible writers, and that we fool people into reading our books. Oh, I'm the only one who thinks that. You guys are supposed to get my back.
They're throwing him to the bus, dude. Sorry.
It's cool. It's cool. That actually happened in my first book. Anyway. But the first draft for me is by far my most favorite part. Because you can just be creative, you don't worry about editing and all that kind of garbage, you just use your creativity and write the story, and that's what I love. I usually get scared more when I start doing revisions and editing and all that stuff. It's not my favorite part, and I'm scared I'll do a poor job of it.
I love to start start a new book. I love the first, like, 2 pages. It's so easy. It's so fabulous. Well, I like to put my name in the corner. Word count started in the other corner. Face down. Like, it's so full of problems. About page 3, I start thinking, oh my gosh, what if I cannot transcribe the whole thing in my head on paper? And then the anxiety sets in. Because the stuff that happens in my brain is so awesome. I was just like a gem to put back there in a thumb drive. There you go. After the first couple of chapters, I started to get a little bit nervous. Like, oh my gosh, what if I cannot describe it the way I want? But actually, rough drafts are pretty fun.
I can have a look at that, huh? By the way, Jessica's read the first 2 pages of Dragon Slippers. One of my favorite first 2 pages of any book ever. So cute, so funny, really darling. For me, first draft is terrifying. I hate the blank page. I really work in clay and not marble, so for me, I'm just spewing up ugliness onto a page for a first draft, and a really ugly little misformed creature is my first draft. For me, the fun part is rewriting, and that's when I start doing the storytelling, when I start playing with different topics and different themes, and weaving in subplots and discovering new things, and that's where it's really fun for me. And I don't feel the loss of the stuff that I cut, because I still made that story even though I was the only reader for it, and so I feel like I can create a whole other story, and then another draft is like an opportunity to make an even different novel and different story, and see where it ends up. So. No?
That's weird.
Yeah. Alone or not? Really? None of you?
I'm with you halfway. It can be fun to. It's fun to make it better. I love the feeling of making it better and taking time to make it better. But I'm not trying to sculpt quite as bleakly as you.
Yeah. Tyler, are you the same way? No? You like first draft?
Yeah.
Oh, man. Any other writers that really hate first draft and love rewrite? Okay, and the writers here that say hate, so love first draft and hate rewrite. Okay, clearly that's the majority. I'm the freak. But what does it say for me? So I have 4 children, right? So the first 2 is like me kind of figuring it out. And this one finally reached it. Alright, this one's publishable.
I have to prevent my husband from referring to our oldest child as the practice child. He would tell me, well, this is just our practice baby. He would be crying and they would be like, oh, what's wrong? And I would go, well, I don't know, it's just a practice baby. Please don't do that anymore. That makes us look like such terrible parents.
I have a question for you guys. Do you read, I think I know the answer to this, but I always get this question. Do you read books while you're in the middle of drafting your own book? Do you have any rules about what you will read and what you won't read while you're in the middle of writing?
This sounds stupid to people, but I actually force myself to read, especially when I'm writing the first draft. I notice if I'm not reading something, that my writing level goes down. I just think it keeps my freshness and creativity strong.
Like a deodorant.
Yeah, like deodorant. By the way, I have the best smelling deodorant ever. If you want to smell it, come out.
I like to read something while I'm writing because it feels like a message from my own writing. So that's why I'm reading like British. Because I don't read those. I just like something that feels like a break, but there's no real rule about what I feel like a break. It's just whatever does.
I'm taking this just depending on time. Like also, I don't have a hard rule about it, but I'll just, yeah. So I love to read, like reading is a big part of my life. It's sometimes fun to read outside my category, like, you know, like macho guy, adventure story stuff. But like, but I also read a lot in my category, so I don't know. Yeah, I have no answer, sorry.
I'm reading all the time, sometimes 2 or 3 books at once, just for fun, but sometimes I will be in a mood for something, a particular kind of book, because that's what I'm working on. like I'll be in the mood to read something set in Scandinavia or something when I'm working on something Scandinavian. Not like, ooh, I must find some ambiance to go with this book, but more like, oh yes, I would like some nesta and boiled fish. Thank you, you know. To read some more.
I'm always writing, and I'm always reading, so I have to do this. So I think some writers take breaks. They write and then they take a break. I can't take a break. Every time I have a baby, I think I'll take a maternity leave. And I take a maternity leave from like this, but I don't ever take a maternity leave from writing. I have to write 5 times a week at least. Reading and writing. And I said I'm always writing. I don't know what I'm saying. I have twin babies, Dashner. Okay, do not let her work this angle. I've been with this baby all day. She has not cried once. I have had both of these babies over at my house. They just sat there smiling and moving, and then they were asleep. And some of you may have heard my story about my son who the doctor gave us permission to sedate and made him more hyper. I have whatever. I will send my children to your house. We actually have a room with a shrink in the floor, and we just leave the kids in there. The door locked, close it down. So easy.
We all know that guys have the hard part in raising children.
Yeah, we feel for you.
I don't know how you do it.
I don't know how you feel.
It's just agonizing to watch all that from a distance.
I have no idea how hard it is to watch your wife suffer as she's delivering a child.
Okay,
And to take pictures. Awesome face, Mary.
I broke parts of my son's glass while I was in labor. Because it was like writing time when my son wasn't there bothering me. So like they started at the toes and I'm like, alright, I need my laptop. I wrote about 2 chapters. And then literally my doctor came in and goes, okay, put the book down, we're going to push. Then my husband took my laptop away after a while, and then I was like, well, can I do my book? So if you notice that some of Princess of Glass seems like, I don't know, the writing is different or tense, or so people slap each other a lot, or
I can notice that one character said, shut up, I didn't even have to draw. I was like, where did that come from? Where did the anesthesiologist like
Have you guys learned a lot about writing so far?
We want to hear what questions you have. So we're going to send Ronald Jenkins, director of Logan Library.